Broadlegged duck, a predatory duck with hundreds of teeth inside its beak. Looks like an ancient Greek monster. What is that, I ask you? Shouted the creator, pointing to the open box. The delivery guy didn't answer, staring down at the floor. Such an embarrassment, to screw up such an order for several million mallard assembly kits. Some of the parts turned out to be defective, and some were from the whale model altogether. The creator looked at his watch, sighed, and began assembling from what he had. And so a new kind of bird was born. If you see something that looks like a mallard, but has a huge schnoz and is maximally stoned, this miracle of nature is called a broad-legged mallard. Even if that's not what really happened, nature was certainly not in the mood to create a defective mallard. The mallard looks almost exactly like a common duck, if it were not for the disproportionately huge shovel-shaped beak, which, if you wanted to call it beautiful, is hard to call it. And compared to the mallard, the duck looks like an ugly duckling, somehow awkward and ridiculous. And in the look of this duck, one can read that it has long ago been transfixed and fully realized its existence. But it's only at first glance that the bighorn sheep is so comical, because as soon as it opens its beak, it immediately turns into the devil's spawn. The inside of its beak and tongue are covered with thousands of sharp teeth that the demonic duck gnaws into the necks of sinners and devours their souls. Okay, it's not like that. Those teeth aren't sharp at all, and the barnacle doesn't prey on sinners. But nevertheless, it is the broad-legged duck that is one of the most carnivorous ducks on the planet. Many birds have similar teeth, such as house geese. But the broad-legged duck actively uses them to hunt. The toothy duck feeds mainly on animals, small crustaceans, mollusks, various insects, and their larvae. To get them, the bird dips its beak into the water, takes a mouthful of it, and then siphons it back through the numerous bristles in its beak, that way everything edible remains inside. Sound familiar? That's right, in the way it eats, it's the same as a whale. This foraging mechanism is unique, which is why the bill does not compete with other waterfowl and feels fine wherever it lives. This duck lives in steppe and forest steppe waters all over the world above the equator, and nowhere is there even a hint of a threat of extinction of the species. And even if the broad-legged duck looks a bit ridiculous, it has perfectly adapted to the changing conditions of nature. It's not beauty that matters, but the ability to survive. This duck knows like no other, and we have a lot to learn from it.